This is an update on our composter that people have been asking about. Now, we've had this for about a year now, and it's doing very well. There's no rust, nothing's breaking down, nothing's got into it. And in fact, that's why we got this. This is actually steel there. Because out here there's enough rodents in the area, we don't want to encourage them. So kitchen waste, food waste, things like that, that's nothing you want to put in a compost heap. But it can go in this. And see, these are two insulated chambers. And you see it's got foam insulation all around it. Ventilation holes for each chamber. I guess keeps it aerobic bacteria. That's how it breaks down. And yeah, it works very, very well. And you see this chamber here is pretty well empty now. It takes about a wheelbarrow load of each chamber. It's quite a lot. And this chamber we've been filling up, and it's nearly full. Now it's beginning of May, and we've been putting stuff in March and April, the last 2 months. And it's been cold and wet, but as you see, it actually is breaking down. Now I've spun this. The whole thing spins. That's how you mix it up. So you can see a lot of stuff is breaking down quite nicely. You know, fibrous things take longer. Twigs and rinds and things like that. But so it closes up, and every once in a while you give it a spin, mix it up. And what we do is, like, that's nearly full now. We've been about 2 months of putting things into it, spinning it once in a while. And then if we leave that, very soon we'll just start using this one. And I say it might take 2 months to put kitchen waste stuff in there. And when that's filled up, you'll find that this side is pretty well everything's composted down. That's not too fibrous. I'd say roughly 2 months after you leave things. And the only trouble we have here is that we're in a very wet climate, and we haven't got it in an awning like we should do, and we will do soon, I think, because the rain over the winter gets in the cracks, works its way in, and actually makes the compost a little bit wet. So it does dry out because of the air vents on either side, but water will work through, and we collect it and throw that around trees and things. But ideally we should be out of the weather. So that's the only stipulation I have if you're getting one of these things, that if you're in a wet climate, you really should have it out of the weather. But even in that circumstances, we actually get several wheelbarrow loads in the last year of pretty good compost. That's worked quite well. Things are growing. So yeah, I'd give this a thumbs up. Hello, this is Mimi. Well, that's Mimi. This is Tom. That's me. Someone asked Susan on her YouTube about our composter and how it's doing in the winter. And as you can see, it's a bit wintry. And last night we had about 4 or 5 degrees below freezing. So here it is. And as you see, it's not in the best position because we haven't got a roof over it. So we get rain onto it. Most of the year it's no trouble, but now I was curious as well how it's doing. I have a carpet on it, basically to keep a little more insulation, but mostly to keep some of the rain off of it. A lot of the rain was working in these cracks, and it was working through and getting in there and dripping out the bottom. And we get this dark liquid, which I emptied a day or so ago, and you dilute this liquid that comes through, and it would actually quite a good plant food for trees and things. You dilute it. Anyway, inside, as you see, there's 2 sides. This side is full, and we're leaving it and just letting it do things. Obviously, they need some stuff. Most of the year, you open this up, you'd have steam come out. But now, we're just leaving this to compost. Put my hand in, and I can feel warmth, but not a lot. Now, it is sort of full and needs, it's not really working that fast right now. And this is hard foam insulation that's all around it. But yeah, let's see. Maybe next month we'll start composting better. And as you see, it's a little bit gooey. That's the moisture that's got in. But when we do empty it, like I've emptied the sides, you get a wheelbarrow full, a proper wheelbarrow. And because of the moisture, we've had to let it dry a bit. There's air vents here, but it's not enough to cope with the rain that been getting in, leaking in, just seeping. And this side, which is where I've emptied it, and now we're filling it again. Now there's a lot of space. put my hand in, I can feel some warmth. And I'll give it a spin. There, probably needs doing anyway. Right, so I'll put the carpet back on it in a minute. Right, so I hope that helps. There's our winter scene.